Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome back to DJ's Workshop. So today I'm going to be working on the Arctic Cat 650, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting a temperature gauge in. One of the common things on these units is the diode for the cooling fan tends to fail, and then you never know it until you're out riding around and your quad starts overheating because the fan never kicked on. So I ran into this problem where it was in the middle of the summer. I was doing something, and then it started overheating. So what I did was I bypassed the diode and stuff, and I just put a regular switch in so I can actually turn it on and off whenever I want to. But what I want to do is I want to put a gauge on here also, and I want to keep an eye on the temperature. This way, if for some reason the fan doesn't kick on, I can at least look down and see that the thing is running hot, and I can shut it down and whatnot. So I did put a temporary gauge in there just to kind of try it out and see if it would fit and whatnot. It's actually a mechanical gauge, and I basically just took the probe and stuck it inside the overflow tank. But I'm going to do it a different way now. I'm going to get a different gauge, and I'm going to get an adapter that I can tap right into the heat hose line so I can monitor the actual temperature of the coolant as it's flowing through. So that's what I'm going to do. Stay tuned, and I'll show you how. All right, so first thing I gotta do is I gotta get this rack off. I gotta get all these plastics off. I can probably do it without doing that, but I wanna take this all apart because I wanna check some wiring. Um, I did put a bypass switch, so you can hear the fan running when I use that. I wanna wire that a little differently too. I wanna have that so that I can leave it on all the time, but have it on a keyed power, so that way if I ever shut the machine off, I don't have to worry about leaving the fan running. So we're gonna get a bunch of plastics off the seat, this rack, and then we're gonna get a look down underneath to see where the hose is. Now I did order some parts, a new gauge and the adapter. Those are gonna be in a couple of days. So I'm gonna start this today. I'll get it all apart, and then we'll continue on once I get those parts in. All right. So first thing, we're gonna get the seat off. We'll get this plastic cover off. Okay. Now you can see here. This is where I'm going to put the gauge. I have one right now, but like I say, it's a mechanical gauge, and I don't really want that. You can see, the capillary tube in that. I don't want that. I want to have regular wiring in there, so I'm going to take that all apart. All right, so first thing is we got to get the seat off. And then it's going to be, a bunch of screws here and there to get all these things apart. So let's start taking that apart. Comes right off. This is your air filter, in case you're not aware of that. I'm going to pull this tube out of here and get this whole assembly out of here. Okay, so to get this top rack off, there's a couple of bolts. One you can see right there. So, okay, so there's one of those on either side. And then up top you have a couple of bolts in the front there, so we'll get those off. Okay, so once you get 2 screws out of here and the 2 screws out of here, there's actually 2 screws over here also. Once you get those out, then you can pull this assembly right out of here. All right, so there's a series of screws you got to take off to loosen everything up, but you do have to take the shift knob off, and there is a screw that goes in the side here like this. Take the screw out and then just slide this off of here, and that way you can pull the plastics up over this. Okay, so next thing is we want to take the grill out because there's two nuts, speed nuts, that hold this plastic on. Okay, so we got to get those two out. Okay, those are 10 millimeter. Okay, and then once you get those nuts out, and that will allow you to take this out. You can see where the speed nut goes right there. All right, so now there are 4 screws, actually 3 screws that hold the cover on, so that way you can get that out of the way. Now lift this off. All right, so once you get the cover off, now you have exposure to everything. And basically what we're looking for is one of the radiator hoses. There is a very small one up top here that connects to the thermostat and the radiator. We don't want that, it's too small. So we're gonna go down below here, and there's a hose here, and that's coming from the lower radiator hose, the lower radiator connector there. All right, and that's probably gonna be the one that we're gonna tap into. You can see it comes down the side over here and goes underneath. And it looks like it wraps around the other side. So I may tap into it like right here. But now I gotta wait to get the adapter and the new gauge. So at this point, this is a good chance for you to kind of look things over because everything's exposed now. You can get a good look at all your wiring and the radiator, make sure it looks okay. Make sure nothing's chewed up, chafed, leaking, corroded, anything like that. So we're just going to give this thing a kind of a once over here, and I just got to wait for those other parts to come in. It'll be here in a couple of days, and then we'll carry on with installing that fitting and the new gauge, and that way we can keep an eye on the coolant temperatures, because before I had it just kind of stuck in the bottle here, but that wasn't any good because as you can see the fluid is way low, and if the sensor was hanging here it's not even touching the coolant, so that wasn't going to work. So I think it's going to work out a lot better. All right, so just hang tight till we get some other parts in, and we'll continue on. All right guys, so we got our parts in. So this is the gauge we're going to use. It comes with the new sensor, and then we bought the adapter to fit in line with the hose. This sensor just screws right into here. Okay, then we have some clamps to secure that. We have some little nuts to secure the wiring on the back. So let's get the hose that we're going to tap into. We got to cut it open, drain out the coolant, and then we'll piece this in. Okay, so we're going to need something to cut this hose. You can use whatever you got handy. You could use a knife, a razor blade. If you have any of these types of cutters, you can do that. So I'm going to try using these, and let's see if we can get this cut here. All right, so we're going to want it like about in the middle. So let's squeeze this in here. Okay, so make sure you have a pan underneath here to catch the coolant. I'm going to take a little slice out of here to make room for the actual adapter. Okay, now that was good because we really didn't lose any coolant. But you want to make sure that you have some extra coolant, so when you're done you can top it off. Okay, now this is the adapter, and you can see it's going to fit right on this hose, which is going to be good. So this adapter here is an 18 millimeter, which I believe is equivalent to about a 5/8. So we're going to slip this in there with the 2 hose clamps. First thing we got to do though is we got to put the sensor in there. So we're going to put a little bit of thread sealer on there, put the sensor in, and then we'll install that. Okay, so you can see we have the sensor installed. I put some sealer on the threads. Now we're going to put the 2 hose clamps on. We'll slip this in there. Okay, so let's get this in here. Okay, you just want to make sure you angle this however you want it. Okay, now we're going to bring the clamps up. We'll tighten that down. Okay, so at this point you can see we have the adapter in there with the sensor. Okay, so now we have to run a wire from the sensor up to the gauge, and then the rest of the gauge wires are just going to be positive and negatives, and we'll figure out how we're going to wire that in. So let me grab a wire, we'll run it up here into the box for the gauge. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is I have the wire with the connector on it. I'm going to put that on here. Then we'll put these washers back on. There's a little lock washer. And there's a little nut. Okay, so this wire is going to run up. Probably up this way. So I'll just pull this up here for now. And then we can tighten this down. All right, then we're going to just kind of zip tie the wire up here and then run it into the box there. All right, so the next thing is you want to cut a hole in your cover so you can mount the gauge on there, and it's just got the little bracket with a couple of nuts that hold it on there. Now you get these couple of wires that are going to go to power and ground. You have 2 more power and grounds, and then you have the one in the center which is going to go to the sensor. All right, so once I get this cover back on, that's going to sit like that. All right, so we need to run some wiring. So this one, now what I'm going to actually do though is, because sometimes I need to take this off to get to the air filter or whatever, I don't want to just hardwire it in so I can't get it off. So I'm going to put a connector in here. I have a 5-lead connector. So I'll have connected to the gauge, and then this will be to the harness. And this way, if I ever need to pull it apart, I can just take the whole cover off and disconnect it this way. Just make it a little bit easier. All right, so let me figure out which wires are going to go to what here, and then we'll get this wired up. Okay, so at this point, you can see I have my connector. All the wiring is done. I have a ground wire, and you can see it's illuminated. So that's all working. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I got to get this thing all buttoned back up, and then we're going to take it out. It's got a little bit of snow last night, not much, maybe a couple inches. We'll do a little plowing, we'll run it for a little while, so keep an eye on the gauge, make sure that it's working properly, and hopefully it'll be all set. All right, so put the adapter in there with the sensor, ran the wire up, did the 5-pin connector. We got a couple of power wires going to the gauge, a couple of power wires going to the light, ground wire hooked into a switch. So that's all wired up, ready to go. So let me get this thing buttoned back up again, and then we'll try it out and see if it's working. So when you're done, don't forget you need to top off your coolant. We've lost very little, hardly anything at all. But I know my coolant bottle is a little bit low, so I'm going to add some in there, and we'll run this thing for a while and see how it goes. Okay, so at this point I have everything buttoned back up again. You can see when I lift the lid, I have the connector here, so I can just do a quick disconnect, take this lid right off with the gauge, get it out of the way. So now that's there, and we have a nice gauge. Now I have a switch here. You can hear the fan running. You can see the gauge light up. All right, so we'll get the seat back on, and then I think we got a little bit of snow outside. We can go ahead and try to plow and make sure that the gauge is working properly. So let's see what happens. Alrighty, so we just did a bunch of plowing on the driveway, and it seems to work good. When you hit the switch, gauge lights up, fan kicks on. So obviously it's very cold out right now, so it's not going to get as hot as it was in the summertime. I could see the gauge come up a little bit, turn the fan on, went back down again. So that seems to be working good. And I just wanted to be able to have some way to, keep an eye on the temperature. Like I say, wintertime is not probably a big deal, but in the summertime, when I was doing different things, it was heating up, and at one time the fan didn't kick on and it did almost overheat. So that's what I wanted to do, just have something to be able to monitor it. I think it's going to work out good. So if you guys are thinking about putting a temperature gauge on your quad just to kind of keep an eye on things, that's how you do it. Just find the coolant line, tap in, put the fitting, run the wires up, just find a spot where you want to put the gauge. I liked right there, it was right in the middle where I could see it, and like I say, I can just do a quick disconnect. Alright guys, well, if you like the video, give a thumbs up, a share, a like, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.